Simple and Out has a lot of amazing ways for you to automatically update your status. Features that we have pioneered in this industry, like geofences and networks and beacons. Today, we're going to talk about our desktop presence feature that we have pioneered within Simple and Out Desktop. It allows you to automatically update your status based on your computer's activity, similar to a chat client. And this allows you to automatically update your status when you're using your computer at work or on the go, and automatically check yourself out when you're done. It works really well and has a couple of amazing features that are going to make your life a lot easier. So let's take a look at that today. Now, first of all, Simple Announce Desktop Presence feature works the same as our other automatic status updating features. And that is that it works based on what I like to always call a division of labor. Your administrators will have a job to do and the users have a job to do. As the administrators, they set up the rules. They can configure what settings are available to the users to activate. And then the users turn these features on. So we're going to start as an administrator. I'm using our administrator account in here where I've clicked on desktop presences, and I can see here a list of a couple I already have created. Let's go ahead and add a new desktop presence so we can see some of the features that are here. So I'll hit add a desktop presence. This allows me to choose its name. And once we've done this, it will provide ourselves with some reasonable defaults to get started. So for name, let's just go ahead and go with maybe we're going to add one for a local coffee shop that we want to check in and out. Maybe we have a coffee shop across the street and it's just a place where us employees hang out quite frequently. We want to relay that information to the other people. So I'll go ahead and do this and hit create. Now we have a brand new one that's just automatically created called Coffee Shop. As you can see, it's already has some great defaults. Now let's go ahead and click on this to edit it further. So here we can edit further desktop presence settings to configure the behavior. So of course I can change its name. I can also choose idle time. This is how long generally does the computer need to be idle before it would check me out or away or, basically set me into the other state that I'm idle. I'm no longer working. So by default, this will be 10 minutes, but you can set this a little lower or you can set it all the way up to as much as even 1 hour if you wish. We'll leave this default. We think this default's pretty good. Now, when the computer becomes active, we want our status to be changed to in and a comment that left behind for context for the rest of the board in at coffee shop. And so this all seems pretty great. Of course, we could change this to anything else if we wish. And then away settings, same thing. What do I want to have happen when I've checked out, when I'm gone idle? And maybe I could be out and left the coffee shop. In this case, this seems reasonable, but I could change this to anything I want. Again, whatever makes the most sense for my use case. In this case, maybe we don't want in for in the coffee shop. Maybe we want remote because, of course, the coffee shop's no longer in the office. Maybe I want to indicate to everybody else that I'm no longer on the premises. This could work great, of course, if you're using Simple and Out for things like emergency evacuations. And finally, we have this setting down here for restrictions. Simple and Out's desktop presence system has baked in intelligence to allow it to automatically flip to the appropriate setting depending on your computer's network conditions. So this allows you to do intelligent things like check myself in and out with comments for the office while I'm physically in the office, and then allow me to change those settings automatically when I'm not in the office, but I'm still maybe on my laptop, still using Simple and Out Desktop. So if you were to want to restrict this, so this is only available when your network conditions match a certain state, again, physically in this place, you can do so by adding IP ranges. And so this is an IP range. This is based on something called CIDR, otherwise known as CIDR. This is a really geeky networky thing. We do have a link here where you can read more about how to do this. But the format, generally speaking, is going to look similar to what we hint at here. It's going to be an IP address with a range behind it that allows you to be able to specify which IP ranges or which IP addresses would be considered, hey, you're in the office, you're in this specific physical place if your IP address looks like this. We're not going to go into that for the purpose of this video. Just know that if you have network administrators or if you know or you have fixed IPs, whoever's running your network in your office can probably give you a pretty good idea of what this looks like. And network administrators specifically deal with this kind of range notation all day, every day. Anyway, so you can add more than one of these ranges here, and that will restrict this to only work in those physical places. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead, we've configured these, I'm going to go ahead and update here so it saves so that way it is remote. Let's take a look at what this looks like within Simple and Out's desktop app itself. So here we are within Simple and Out Desktop. In this case, I'm using the version for for my Mac. And as you can see, I've clicked on Settings, and inside of Settings, I'm in Automatic Updates. And within the Settings Automatic Updates thing, we have a list of all of our automatic status update settings that we've configured that the administrators left behind for us to utilize. And so this works out really well. This setting screen is broken into two pieces. There are the restricted desktop presence settings, and these are the ones that are restricted by those IP ranges. They only work, they will only turn themselves on when you are in a network condition state specified by the admin. And then we have these unrestricted desktop presence settings. These are the ones that can be on all the time, no matter what, they will always be working. You can turn on as many of the restricted desktop presence settings as you wish. So in this case, if I want to turn this on, let's just turn this one on. And now what will happen is if Simple and Out Desktop's running and I'm in the Arlington Financial network conditions, if I'm in one of the IP addresses in the range that the admin has set up, I'll automatically be updated to be in at Arlington Financial. And when I'm idle, I'll automatically be set to left Arlington Financial within a period of 10 minutes. Now, I can turn on more than this. In the unrestricted desktop presence settings, I can turn on one of these as well. Now, for unrestricted, you're only ever allowed to turn on one. So in this case, maybe working from home makes the most sense. If I want to turn on a different one, this one will turn itself back off. And that's intentional. It's because you could only ever have your comments set in one situation, depending on the default for what happens when it's not in a recognized network. So you can turn on as many restricted desktop presence settings as you wish. You can turn on one unrestricted, and it will work just as you hoped. If my network conditions are in Arlington Financial, those will be the comments that get set. If my network conditions are not in Arlington Financial, whichever unrestricted desktop presence setting I have will become my default fallback. So in this scenario here, in at Arlington Financial, I close my laptop, I'll be left Arlington Financial. But when I open it up at home, I will automatically be updated to remote and my comment will be working from home. And likewise, when I'm idle, it'll be away from my desk. So these are desktop presence updates. It's an intelligent system that allows you to update your status automatically, but it also respects restricted desktop settings based on network conditions so that it will automatically switch between these settings to guarantee you always have the perfect comment left behind. All without you having to do anything at all. Once you've set this in motion, everything is just magic.